So what you just saw there was basically a kidnapping in broad daylight in New York City by the NYPD and other unmarked police officers or whoever they are. We just don't know. Basically, people were protesting in New York for Black Lives and other issues in and around Abolition Park. And what you see is those police officers, basically kidnappers, pull up, knock over a protester. People have identified them as a trans protester and threw them into a van. Tried to stuff them into a van, no rights being read, nothing like that, trying to drive away with a person against their will without any of the protocol you would expect from a non-kidnapping police arrest. And you can clearly also see that while some of the people are unmarked, like you might expect from Portland and other cities, here you have the NYPD playing an undeniably direct role. You can see in the clip that they're surrounding the vehicle, trying to basically block protesters, the people that were trying to defend that person from getting them out, and basically allowing those arresting officers, those kidnappers, again, whatever you want to call them, from, securing the person before they can drive away. This is extremely troubling. This wave we've been seeing across major cities in the USA of police officers in effect kidnapping people, whether it's municipal officers or even more troublingly, whether it's the forces sent directly by Trump and his unaccountable officials in Washington, what we're seeing is extremely, extremely troubling. This isn't how the police, how law enforcement should operate in a free and democratic society. To the extent that you feel police are good or that you feel we need police, even if you're not a supporter of the defund police movement, I don't know why you wouldn't be, but even if you're not, we can all acknowledge that this isn't how people should be treated by law enforcement. If someone is to be arrested or detained, they should know why. There should be an attempt to do so peacefully. There should be an attempt to do so without excessive force or indeed any force at all if possible, which more often than not is likely possible. Here, what we saw was them basically pull up and just knock someone over, tackle them, and throw them in a van. There's no indication this person had a weapon. There's no indication this person was dangerous. There's no indication that this person was going to run away. There's no indication that this person was going to be dangerous given that they were in a group. None of that really applied. None of that at all. They were simply marching, and the person was isolated from the group, knocked down, and thrown into a van. That is very troubling. We're not still exactly sure what's happening to these kidnapping victims. We're really not that sure. Are they being taken to black sites? What are those black sites like? How long are they being detained for? What are they being asked? What are the conditions of their release? Are they getting charged? If they are getting charged, how is it happening? How long do they have to wait? In cases like this, who exactly is the authority making the arrest / detainment / kidnapping? We don't know. Is it the NYPD here? They certainly seem to be playing a role, but is it the Department of Homeland Security, the Trump Gestapo forces that he's been deploying into various cities? And if so, why is the NYPD cooperating with them when at least in some other cities, mayors and local officials have tried to resist that police Trump Gestapo cooperation? I don't know why any of this is happening, but this really is the sort of thing you see in anti-democratic societies. You might not call the United States a fascist society yet. Certainly not yet. But this is the thing you see in fascist societies. This is the thing you see in the sorts of societies that the United States often decries as human rights abusers. This is the sort of thing you often see in the societies that the United States has launched military interventions in to supposedly, quote unquote, bring freedom and democracy to them. And yet it's happening right on American soil. I really have worries that this is not going anywhere, and that Donald Trump, as desperate as he is, will only continue to do more and more of this. And guys, what's also scary to me, and Chris Hayes noted this from MSNBC, even Joe Biden in some of his rhetoric is making really dangerous allusions right now. He's basically saying we have to respect peaceful protesters, but we can't allow anarchists and arsonists to get away with doing bad things. But the thing is, anarchists are a political philosophy. They're people with a political belief. By default, at least, they haven't done anything wrong. And so we're already setting up this scenario where people with particular ideological presentations are being defaulted in the public mindset, even from Democrats, at least some Democrats, as criminals. And so my real worry is, much like when George W. Bush did a lot of bad things, and Obama stopped some of them, but some of those things just became normalized within the American political system, that some of the ways that police under Trump have been acting will become normalized even if Biden does win. And so we have to be eternally vigilant to this stuff. Yes, when Trump's in power, but maybe even more so when he isn't, because a lot of people are going to be so relieved he's gone, they might tune out. They might go eat their brunch, as a lot of the protesters, at Trump's inauguration basically said. But we have to be clear. This is unacceptable in any decent, free, and democratic society. The police should not be kidnapping citizens or indeed anybody else.